Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Metroid 2 Remake here on the heavybass X channel. Last time, we explored previous areas and concluded our trip around the area. Around the SR388 region. In this old, very last, basically a reposition of going back through, backtracking. But, there is there's an optional area now that we will get to visit, but we didn't normally get to it because we didn't have a certain item, but now that we do have a certain item, we can go ahead and do so. Also, the convenient location where we are really depends on it. I mean, you can literally just roll across this area, it's just fantastic, because we have a lot of our items, right? Sorry, but I was being a classy bitch. Anyway. Oh, that's nice. Just the right kind. Good bite and everything. Anyway, use the power bomb in this position here to activate the lift. This old-fashioned lift, which basically is a replication of all previous lifts in Metroid, and it takes us straight to the one area that no one expects. Because it takes us to the surface? Yeah, this is the ship that literally dropped off the research team and the military team, which unfortunately we kind of we've no contact with the military team. They're gone, but there's other stuff here as well. As you can see, their ship is here, and in the distance, if you go to the right here, we're gonna be exploring the ship in this episode, because there's quite a few references here and there. Because this pretty much this level does contain quite a few bosses from a future game, since the game is above a certain planet. But anyway, going over here, you'll find that over there is the military ship. That we saw there was the research ship, and here we have some more power bomb expansions. Really good. Yeah, that's just, unfortunately we can't go onto the ceiling because quite literally, as you probably know, if you reach the ceiling on top of areas, you'll get damage. This is pretty much the range in most games. You can't like clip the ceiling and go beyond it, otherwise you'd be in space, and that'd be really stupid. Anyway, this particular area in the remake is a special area, a special sort of like an Easter egg area where the research vessel is, and also where the military vessel is. Because they're the research station first, but then we discovered what was left of the research seat, so the military team had to come along as well, right? So we're not that far off as well, because I mean we only got like what, 7 Metroids to hunt still. We haven't even gotten to a specific area. We don't know where the military team is per se. So there's that, and there's quite a few reasons as well. So, however, before we go inside the ship and discover what really happened to it and the fate of everyone there, well, you go here, you realize that we'll reach the surface, because it's like the time passage is amazing. By the way, it was daytime when we arrived. Now it's nighttime, and this area, as you may have noticed, is a reference to itself for a future game that will happen later on in the timeline. But for those that don't know, that is the location for Metroid Fusion, or rather the bit where Samus gets infected by the biggest mistake that she's ever made, the X. Anyway, we're moving on to the ship itself, and reminiscent already. This is basically like Alien. Or Aliens, or anyway, this is the thing that Metroid is based off. Because the whole thing is Metroid, because the whole thing is based on Alien, right? The sci-fi classic and all that, most things are. But we'll discover that there's no one here. In fact, this seems like to me that something has happened to this ship. Something very drastically and very bad has happened to the ship, and as it were. So here, we'll discover that the ship is literally gone. The ship was destroyed. President Dixon, as well as that rescue team, discovering that there's all that. But there is movement detected in the East Wing, but everyone on the ship is dead. No surprise, nothing survives on these planets. Something is here, and we're gonna have to find out what it is. But we don't know what it is yet, because who knows? It could be anything, really. It could be something scary, it could be something horrifying. But I digress. Here you'll find a save room, very important, since we're gonna be investigating what's on that third floor. So technically, we're about to approach the third floor. So we get up the ceiling here and discover there's something in the room there. Indeed, there is something in the room. Samples of aliens being collected, and we have an energy tank, which is cool, but unfortunately we're under attack from a life form that actually escaped. This is the Genesis. This is a creature that exists in Metroid Fusion. It's those things right at the very end of the game that are literally golden, covered in indestructible. One of those escapes, and now you have to fight this boss as a mobile threat. And just like was before, this thing is very terrifying. All you have to do is quite literally just pound it with super missiles. Just don't do as I'm doing, because this is an optional boss, by the way. Every area has to have optional areas. This is another one of these areas that's kind of important. And pretty sure to assume that the Genesis was pretty much the one responsible for either being captive and all that, but eventually things have happened, and you know. It's still powerful, it's still very present. It's just pretty much like the threat if it was in Fusion. These things are hard to kill, by the way, if you remember the game. But yeah, quite a few missiles later, you kill one of the Genesis is dead, and there goes the optional boss. All that was basically for an extra energy tank, and you know, this pretty much it's in the game at this point. We literally just, you know, we got everything that we just pretty much got everything that we need. All we just had to do was just go for this area here, and well, that's really about it. And that's it. This ship is pretty much this research vessel is just basically a derrick. It's basically a derrick with all members of the crew dead. And then again, just like the research team, no one survives. So I'm just wondering if all this happened to the researchers, you could bet you 10 times as much the other guys, they're gonna suffer too. But yeah, that's the end of the surface. We're just gonna go back down. Now we're gonna get back to business. We have a lot of missiles. We have a lot of missiles that we gained. We have gained an extra energy tank, which is very vital. And we discovered the fate of the research vessel, which the vessel that carries the research team. Super missiles are very important in this game. They're gonna have to be. They're gonna be the most important thing that's pretty much for the last bit. Because we haven't got much Metroids left to kill. The whole thing about the game was basically just to wipe out all the Metroids. Unless you play a certain game. Then it just becomes an interesting little, you know, thing. It's unique, it's good, but it's a lot different than what I'm expecting. You know, the game was basically just to go through areas, beat all that. These games are unique. So, we're done with this episode. As it were. Save as much as we can. Or rather, we're not done with the episode because we're actually going to head back because, you know, we literally have everything that we need. Which is true. We do have everything we need. We just need to go back to previous mission, back to the previous thing, and then we gotta get our hands on some stuff. Actually, no, we're just gonna head back to the distribution center because we're gonna finish that off now that we literally can explore the other. There is one section of the entirety of the hub, one section of the distribution center that we haven't explored yet, and that, of course, is the underwater bits. You're probably thinking, what underwater bits? Exactly. There's another level of the distribution center, and we have the very thing needed. So all we have to do now is go back. The only thing that I like the new one did, which I think was a lot better than the original, and you'll probably agree with me with this one, is that in the pretty much in the other title, they actually they managed to once you kill a Metroid in a certain area, then it becomes populated by the creatures that used to threaten it. So that is the one thing I like about the other game, is that it's really good when it comes to like distribution and stuff. So just wanted to point that out. I like it. It's one of my favorite things. I think you pretty much know exactly what the other game is, so it's just that I just want to get to the save point, and then we can carry on as usual. Then we can carry on with the next episode, because we're not done with the distribution center. Far from it. We still have Metroids to kill in this area, and we're gonna hunt them down. See you next time.